talking to a lot of other grief centers across the country, how critical the space really is in terms of building, a haven for families that, it's hard to have these conversations here, there, and everywhere. They've got to feel comfortable, a place where they belong, a place that's truly their own.
I think there are a lot of fronts that this is important and a lot of reasons in different categories. I think one of the first reasons is I don't think the community has enough grief support in general. I think that this is a space, this program and the programming that we're going to have out in the community is going to give people who may be on their islands of grief somewhere to go in a central location and also connect with others that may have gone through the same thing. I think that from a standpoint of being a grieving parent and somebody who's lost a son myself, it's so important for us to continue our son Cooper's legacy. There are a lot of things, memorial things and rooms. We're sitting in a room in memory of a girl that we lost in a car accident that give those families something to dig into and continue legacy. So I think on a lot of different fronts, this is going to really help people in their grief process, both navigating through it, finding people, and allowing people to give something to pour their legacy into.
The way the rooms are broken up, it is much like a child care center in that there's, rooms themed based on age or developmental stage. So we have our little lanterns room, which is our littlest grievers, ages 5 to 8-ish. Play therapy, the teen room. We really wanted the teens to have their own space. And again, we didn't want it to feel clinical, just a hangout space. You see, we have the rec room with bubble hockey and shuffleboard and, a little sectional and a TV. So just a place that they would just want to come and hang. And then our middles and then our 2 parent meeting rooms. So it lended itself perfectly, again, to be able to provide really unique and dedicated spaces for each age group so that they had a place to call their own within our center.
We're getting a lot of phone calls for people who want to volunteer at the center. We're getting a lot of families who have unfortunately lost somebody in their life who is very special to them. The statistic 1 in 11 kids lose a parent or sibling by the age of 18 in Erie County was very evident after this was made public. And it was very interesting to us. Things and you do the research and obtain information over the past few years in making this a reality, but until you launch it and get things going, you don't know how it's going to be. And we've gotten really, I don't want to say good results, because this is a space that people probably don't maybe not want to be in, but once they have it, once they've been here, it becomes a lifeline.
What surprised me the most is how quickly the community, grieving people in our community, are shaping what is happening here. So already we have 2 offerings that we didn't start out planning for phase 1 of our programs. One just happened this morning, which is just a coffee hour for bereaved moms. Nothing formal, no structure, just come and be together for an hour and a half and just share a cup of coffee, we call it a cup of comfort. And we had 7 moms this morning that showed up for that, again, just to be together. And then the second thing was we had an older gentleman call who had lost his adult son. And again, that wouldn't have been something that occurred to us out of the gate as we're dealing with more children and families. But, he said to us, I haven't had a place to really go to talk about the pain of losing my son, a gentleman in his, up in his maybe 60s, 70s. And he said, is there a place for me here? And so we started a support group for parents of adult children that have died called Forever My Child. And that will start happening now. And that was because of a phone call that came in. And these groups are run by trained volunteers. So, our community is contributing that way by giving of their time to be trained to run peer support groups. So the more volunteers we train, the more offerings we can have. And so it's really been neat to see how quickly the community is fashioning what's happening here at WNY Compassion Connection.